A 1,000-degree branding iron was pressed onto the man's body, but he actually laughed with excitement, because this mark represented that he had finally earned the qualification. From now on, he could follow the mech knight he admired the most, and carry out dangerous missions with him. But when the man boarded the aircraft, what awaited him was not glory, but a dirty pair of underwear thrown at him by the knight.
Clean that.
Although Matt was extremely reluctant, he still followed the knight's orders, polishing the dirty underwear until it shined and putting it back on. But what he didn't expect was that the knight not only didn't thank him, but instead shoved him away. The knight then patted the pilot on the shoulder, saying this mission was simply too boring. He decided to go down and hunt, just to relax a little. Although Matt kept warning him that this mission was extremely important, and he couldn't act on his own. But to the knight, those words were completely meaningless. He threw the luggage out of the aircraft, then grabbed Matt and jumped to the ground using the elevator. After the two safely reached the ground, the knight ordered Matt to carry the equipment. Then he walked toward the forest ahead, ready to search for prey. Matt could only follow behind him obediently. But shortly after entering the woods, he unexpectedly discovered a clue. A white lab coat was lying on the ground, with a can of leftover dog food beside it. This meant that not long ago, a person and a dog had passed through here, and the target of their mission was the scientist who escaped with his dog. It seemed that these items were probably traces left behind by the scientist. But before Matt could celebrate for long, a strange noise suddenly came from the cave ahead. The two immediately went on alert and carefully walked inside, but the inside of the cave was extremely dark, with almost no visibility deep inside. So the knight immediately ordered Matt to go ahead and scout the path.
But my lord, I don't have armor.
My squire. Move.
At that exact moment, the only flashlight ran out of power. With no other choice, Matt had to gather his courage and walk alone into the darkness. The cave was filled with barrels of nuclear waste, but aside from that, there didn't seem to be anything unusual. Matt was about to turn back and report, when he suddenly discovered that a mutated bear had appeared behind the knight. The next second, the bear charged forward, easily crushing the knight's weapon with its teeth. Then it violently attacked the knight's armor. Faced with such terrifying power, even the armored knight couldn't withstand it. He could only turn around and run out of the cave. The moment he rushed out of the cave, the knight immediately lay motionless on a rock. Because in the past, playing dead was an effective way to avoid bear attacks. But the bear, mutated by nuclear radiation, had already developed higher intelligence. It wasn't fooled, and seemed to see through the knight's trick, slamming him to the ground. Then it began viciously biting the knight. The knight could only shout for Matt to shoot. Matt didn't dare waste any more time, and immediately raised his gun and fired. One bullet hit its target, finally knocking the bear unconscious. He successfully saved the knight's life. But when facing the person who saved him, the knight didn't show any gratitude. Instead, he angrily questioned why Matt acted so late.
Give me a stim pack! What the fuck are you doing, man? Can you give me a fucking stim pack instead of just standing there?
Although Matt was extremely unhappy, as the knight's squire, he had to obey all of his commands, so he opened his backpack and took out a healing injection. However, the knight at this moment still didn't stop insulting him. He believed everything was Matt's fault. If Matt had discovered the mutated bear earlier, he would never have suffered such serious injuries. He even said that after returning to the base, he would report this incident. Because according to their rules, a squire who made mistakes would be hung in the air. Then vultures would be allowed to slowly tear them apart. Hearing this, Matt finally couldn't tolerate it anymore. The mech knight he admired when he was young turned out to have such an ugly true nature. He turned around and told the knight someone like him was not worthy of being a knight. He was even unworthy of wearing this armor. After saying that, Matt put down the healing injection in his hand. Then he quietly watched his former idol slowly lose his life in front of him. Only after the knight was completely dead did Matt walk forward. He removed the equipment from the knight's body, opened the back panel of the T-60 power armor, and then he climbed inside step by step. Matt never could have imagined that the dream that once seemed impossible would come true in such a way. One day, he finally wore a combat armor of his own.